Not too many people drop by this place these days. This archive is many years old, and it is almost forsaken, which is a shame. This storage of thousands of criminal cases boasts some unique stories of life and death. All logical and common-sense considerations suggested that these cases could be solved, but they were not. The time has come to get these incredible accounts out of the dust. This is for you. A really one-of-a-kind case. This is a disaster. Do you have any idea what effects for the industry it can bring about?
I absolutely understand.
No, you don't understand me. I will be skinned alive for this. I just don't know what to do with you. Galina Akulova. What? Can't you make yourself useful in any way? Have you typed the order yet? I have. Go to the accounting office and get the last quarter's reports. And for the quarter before, too. For the quarter, I see. Does the word plan mean anything for you, Viktor Nikolaevich? We'll never build communism with people like you.
A smart move.
Oh, you know I have to care for my reputation. What brings you here? Something happened?
I'm just leaving today on a business trip.
For how long?
A few days, but I'll miss you. By the way, there's a surprise waiting for you at home.
Surprise? Sounds intriguing. Lena, I cannot stand it anymore. You should see this nightmare. The walls are painted terribly. My parquet is... it's totally out of hand. Ugh, listen, Lena, there's someone to see me. No, I'm not waiting for anyone. Let's talk tomorrow, okay?
Good morning, Lev.
Hello, Pyotr Gregorievich.
How are you doing?
As it goes in that song.
Songs are many, you know.
Galia? Honey? Galia!
What's the matter, Pyotr Grigorievich?
Lev, call the police!
Well, Artyom? Artyom?
Yes?
How deep have you dug into the case?
I've just started to get into it. Well, this is Krasnodar city. The chief technologist of Kirov clothing factory, Galina Akulova, was found murdered in her apartment. It all happened in March 1975.
1975. Oh, it's when a great movie was released. Revenge and the Law.
A crime story?
No, it was an Indian movie. Quite action-packed. You know, a huge hit across the whole of the Soviet Union. Me? I watched it 5 times.
Me? Fortunately.
Are you a fan of Indian films?
No, fortunately, I've stayed immune to this cultural phenomenon.
Oh, you don't get it. La la la. There's so much passion in them. You cry a river.
Galia. She lived alone. Home, work, home.
Divorced?
For 3 years already. After the divorce, she did everything by herself. Even remodeling her apartment. She helped Mother and me a lot too.
What was her job?
Chief technologist at a clothing factory.
Where do you live?
In the suburbs. Station Voronezhskaya.
So you didn't see each other often, did you?
Not often. Hi, Billy. How are you doing?
Time of death is around 12 p.m. The killer stunned her from behind with a blunt object. While she was unconscious, he put a bag over her head, tied a clothesline around her neck, and tied up her hands. Judging by her posture and open mouth, she came to, but couldn't help herself.
What a terrible death.
Yes, but there are no signs of breaking in. She let the killer into the apartment. And here's what I found 3 feet away from the body.
What is it?
Hare, rabbit.
Right.
And here, moth eggs.
Moth eggs? Where do you want me to look for them?
I think the tuft dropped out of a collar or from a hat. Fyodor Grigorievich, did Galina have ill wishes? Maybe she had fights with someone.
On Friday, she argued with the repairman. See? All repairs are screwed up.
I won't pay you a penny for this.
What, are you nuts? I've been slaving here for the whole week.
What? The walls painting is horrible and uneven. The floor hasn't been scraped at all.
I took off 2 millimeters, as we agreed.
We didn't agree on that. Now, everything will have to be redone, and it's me who'll have to redo it. Get out of here.
So you don't want us to settle nicely? Okay, it'll be a wicked way then.
What? Get out of here.
You don't know who you're messing with.
It was Friday.
Why did you come here?
To fix up everything that this scammer screwed up. Besides, Galia left 80 rubles for me. They were supposed to be here, but they are not. Anything else missing? Yes, a gold watch, earrings, and an amethyst ring. Our gift for her 30th birthday.
Yours?
No. I beg you, close her eyes. Was your daughter seeing anyone? There was a man. A married guy. I didn't appreciate it. Galia didn't introduce me to him.
Would you know how we can find the guy who did the remodeling here?
Nikolai? I don't know. You better ask Liana Orminskaya. She is Galia's friend. We will. Did Nikolai have a fur hat? He did. Kind of a shabby one. Either rabbit or hare. Okay, go ask the neighbors.
Eat well, puppy. Eat well, my dear.
Alexeyevna, are you with your leftovers again? Just got rid of the dogs.
Flayer. Insensitive bastard, you monster.
I'm a flayer. Cockroaches are swarming in the building as you have kicked up this zoo hotel.
Good afternoon. Do you live here?
Yes,
And you?
Those are my windows.
he is our janitor.
What am I, mute? Are you answering for me?
You're a bastard.
You'll sort it out later. I have questions to ask.
Is this about the murder?
Don't you know?
Quiet, please. Did you see anyone suspicious last night?
I went to bed. I have to get up early.
And I only saw a remodeling guy. I ran into him when I was walking with Lord. He looked at Galina's windows. He had strong booze breath.
Hello? So he was drunk. And what time was it?
7:30?
I see. Thank you.
Did you have a talk?
Yes. Dug out something on this Nikolai.
Let's go. You'll tell me everything on the way. Let's visit one friend and talk.
Do you feel anything?
No, nothing.
And now?
I will never get up.
Lack of reaction is also a reaction. We have to wait a bit.
Open the door, please.
Of course.
Does Elena Olomskaya live here?
Yes, I'm her doctor. Come in.
What happened?
Your friend Galina Akulova has been killed.
How? It's impossible. Galia?
Lenochka, can I go?
Yes, thank you, Yuri Ivanovich. You can go. So, how did it happen?
She was murdered in her apartment, at home.
Horrible.
When did you see her for the last time?
Well, when she was here last week, and yesterday we talked on the phone
At what time?
around 7 p.m. We talked for 15 minutes, and then someone came to her.
Who? Did Galina tell you?
No. We said goodbye, and she went to open the door.
Was she seeing a man?
She was, but Galia didn't like to talk about him.
Why not?
The topic is painful. He's married, he has a child. He's not going to leave his family.
What's his name? Where does he live? Do you know?
Galia would never even mention his name.
I see. And Nikolai, the guy who did the remodeling at Galina's apartment, do you know him?
Yes, of course. He scraped our parquet 2 years ago. I could still walk at the time.
Why can't you now?
I clumsily fell into the water, broke my spine. Since then, I've been in a wheelchair.
I see. Wheelchairs were first invented in ancient China, but until the mid-20th century, they were a privilege for the chosen few only. After the victory over the Nazis, many disabled people appeared on the streets of Soviet cities, but only a few had wheelchairs. The rest rode on wheeled wooden boxes, pushing off the pavement with wooden blocks. In 1946, a tricycle named the Kivite came out, but its power capacity was only enough to reach the nearest store. In 1958, it was replaced by a two-seater S3A featured in Leonid Gaidai's famous comedy and popularly nicknamed Morgunovka. These ramshackle machines would break time and time again during their service life. In 1955, the first rally of disabled war veterans riding motorized wheelchairs took place in front of the Communist Party Central Committee building. While outdoor wheelchair transport was in a way advanced, Home-use wheelchairs had to be made in artisanal conditions. Their mass production didn't begin until 1980. Can you give me Nikolay's address?
Of course. I'll do it myself. Write it down.
Galina Akulova, a chief technologist of Krasnodar clothing factory, was found murdered in her own apartment. She was strangled with remarkable cruelty. Whoever did it put a bag over her head and tied up her hands behind her back. It was a slow, painful death. Fur villi were found at the crime scene. It turned out that shortly before her death, Akulova scolded a man who was doing remodeling in her apartment and kicked him out. He threatened to retaliate. The victim's relatives testified that Galina had an affair with a married man. Nikolai Sinitsyn was detained at the construction site where he worked. A hareskin hat was found in his locker. And obviously, the fingerprints on the doorbell and on the door of the murdered woman's apartment also belonged to him. His home was searched.
But as far as I remember, the missing jewelry was not found at his place.
Guys, I didn't kill her. I came to her to apologize. My wife made me. I didn't even get into the apartment. I rang the doorbell and I knocked, but no one opened. And by the way, I saw light in the windows. Why don't you believe me?
Why should we believe you? Come on, fire away. What did you do? What did you hear when you were near the house?
Some kind of crazy woman ran away. I'm sorry. So sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, are you out of your mind? I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Did you just make it up for me?
Look at me. Answer now quickly. What did she look like?
A kind of an ugly one.
What was she wearing?
Plaid coat and eyeglasses.
And what was on her head?
A hat with ear flaps.
Take him to the cell.
To the cell.
He's telling the truth. There was a woman.
We'll see. But regardless, this woman may have nothing to do with Galina.
In the morning, we'll drop by the victim's employer. I want you to question her neighbors.
I can't believe it. Poor Galina Akulova. She was stern enough, but...
Calm down. Have some water. Do you know anything about your boss's private life?
No. She never shared this information with anyone.
Any conflicts at work?
No. Although, the Day before yesterday, one man was in her office, and she yelled at him big time. I will be skinned alive for this. I just don't know what to do with you. Galina Akulova? What? Can't you make yourself useful in any way? Have you typed the order yet? I have. Go to the accounting office and take records for last quarter. And for the quarter before, too. For the quarter before. Okay. I don't even know what organization he was from. Here at the factory, everything is fine. We always perform above the plans.
So it seems strange to you.
Yes.
What did he look like?
Eye-catching. Tall, well-dressed, wore great cologne. Must be an imported brand, I guess.
Одеколон у него тоже хороший. Импортный, наверное.
Imported. Well dressed and handsome. Curious.
And he had a white Volga. I saw it when I went to the post office.
Okay, do you remember the car's plate number?
Нет, конечно.
No, of course I do not.
Потому что
I didn't pay that kind of attention.
What else can you remember?
I don't know if it's relevant.
Everything is relevant.
He was singing a song.
What song?
What matters for us most is aircraft, while the girls will have to wait.
А девушки потом.
Nice. Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Ты моя
You are a smart one, my aristocratic beauty.
благородный.
Nila Alexeyevna.
Don't yell.
Nila Alexeyevna.
He's afraid of strangers.
Боится чужих людей.
Yes, my dear?
That night, did you see a girl in a plaid coat and eyeglasses?
Kind of a lame one?
So she was limping.
Yes.
Where did you see her? Did she come out of the entrance?
Нет.
No, Lord pulled me to the rear of the building.
Лорд это
Lord is my dog. There, I noticed her. She got into a taxi and left. Care for tea?
No thanks. I'm afraid the boss may not appreciate it. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, right, baby? You're the bad kitty. You're the good kitty.
So Nikolay Sinitsyn was telling the truth. The woman in the plaid coat and glasses was not something he made up.
Two testimonies make the fact the fact.
Based on pensioner Nila Alexeyevna's description, they made an identikit of this ghost woman. So, who is she? Maybe she has nothing to do with the murder at all.
Artem, did it ever cross your mind that it could be the lover's wife?
You shouldn't be so obsessed with Bollywood movies. Anyway, having an identikit in his pocket, the operative went to the taxi park to find out who gave this woman a ride.
Well,
I found a cab driver who gave her a lift.
where to?
183 Turgenevskaya Street.
183? A victim's friend, the one in a wheelchair, lives in a building next door.
Yes, Elena.
You know how to surprise. It can't be a coincidence. We'll visit her again tomorrow morning. My first one. I'll put it in my Zaporozhets car.
Come on, this is all the rage these days. As hot as it gets.
Why isn't the door closed?
What for? What do you want?
Что вы хотите?
Look, do you recognize this woman?
That's Nyurka.
Точно.
Exactly, that's my nurse.
Моя.
But she hasn't shown up for a few days. What happened?
Случилось чего?
Why doesn't she show up?
I don't know. Maybe she got herself another job? Not likely, though. She would have told me. Anyway, what happened?
How well do you know her?
How well? She came over on our ad last year. The husband posted it. So, what happened?
And where is your husband now?
On a business trip?
Could you check if anything is missing?
Katya, please check out the Indian coffee can in the kitchen.
Кофе.
Okay.
I'll check with her.
I need the nurse's address.
I had it somewhere in my notebook. 1 second. 1 second. Let's see. There is no address. The page was torn out.
The can is empty.
No way. I guess your Nurka is a thief.
Can you name specifically what's missing?
A gold pendant watch,
На цепочке.
an aquamarine ring, a pearl brooch,
Марином. Брошь с жемчугом.
my mother's ring, although the stone fell out,
Правда, камень выпал. И
and money. Lots of money. I never liked your Nurka. You see, our problem is that no nurse could bear with me for more than a week, but Nurka turned out to be quite docile. She just lulled your vigilance. Fortunately, she hasn't killed you yet. I'll go check my stuff.
Did Nyura know where your friend Galina lived?
She did. I sent her to Galia for a book 2 weeks ago.
Yes, you were right. Cherchez la femme. I would have never thought she was a dangerous criminal.
Appearances are deceptive.
I agree.
Is it all you can offer? After all, it weighs the whole 10 grams.
Well, you see, our rates are standard. What can I do? Do you want me to pay extra out of my pocket?
Sorry. No deal. I'm not selling.
Your choice. He always offers peanuts. I can offer a good price.
How much?
Come with me.
Talise, tell me, do you know this woman?
Yes, she was here yesterday. She wanted to sell jewelry but had no passport, so I refused her. It's a must that a seller produce an ID.
I see. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you. God bless you.
Здоровья.
Rasolov. Petr Nikolaevich Rasolov,
Ah, Dmitry Alexandrovich, hello.
working for the good of socialist society as always.
What are you talking about, officer?
Rasolov. Have you seen this woman?
Well, she was here. She brought some jewelry.
And you bought them from her, right?
She quoted a peanut price. Who would refuse?
Can you describe her?
Well, she was freaky.
What does that mean? Freaky in what way?
Well, you see, an ugly woman in a coat stinking of mothballs. But her hands,
What about hands? Tattoos?
no, she had a manicure like a movie star on a magazine cover.
The history of manicure dates back to over 3,000 years ago. In ancient Egypt, long nails painted in bright colors were a sign of the upper class. During the medieval ages, long nails could lead you to the gallows for witchcraft. In the USSR, a manicure cost as cheaply as just 30 to 40 kopecks, though salons had a ridiculously poor palette of Soviet-made nail polishes. Besides, their quality was barely inferior to construction paints applied to walls. The Soviet nail polish would crack, dry up for ages, and did not hold well. The late 1960s saw the emergence of nail polishes imported from Bulgaria and Poland, though in very limited supply. Ladies had to make a tough choice: bear with poor yet cheap Soviet polishes, or privately pay extra for imported ones which manicurists bought for their own money. Getting a job at a beauty salon was next to impossible. You had to have great connections for that. With an official monthly salary of 70 to 80 rubles, a good manicurist could earn 3 times as much on tips alone. And what color?
That one. I would call it a ripe pomegranate.
May I?
What do you have?
This is the only thing Rasolov bought from her.
Why only this?
This is what was gone from Elena's.
I know. Galina's jewelry is elsewhere. Why? This is the most important question. Let's find and ask her.
Boris Semenovich, I think that an ugly coat, hat, and glasses, this is all a masquerade.
Why?
Did you see too many bums with manicures?
What's your point?
Rasolov said that the woman who was selling the jewelry was poorly dressed, but she had a very expensive manicure, like an actress, and pomegranate-colored polish.
Pomegranate? An interesting clue. Let's go talk to manicure specialists.
Katerina, hello.
Hello.
How long have you known Nayura?
I don't know her well. Maybe I've seen her 3 times, and that's it. Oh, Nura, hello. How is Lena doing there? I want to visit her today. She is asleep and asked not to disturb her. You'd better come in the evening. I'm going shopping. Do you need anything? No, I don't need anything.
Have you ever seen Elena and Yura together?
No, I haven't.
I see. Let's go. Don't call Elena.
Okay. What else do you expect me to tell you? You have it all.
And who opened the window? Was it you?
How could I?
Then who?
Katya, my neighbor. You know her very well.
She's at work. We just saw her. Lenochka, I'm home.
Who is this?
My husband's back from the business trip.
What matters for us most is aircraft, while the girls will have to wait.
While the girls will have to wait.
Viktor Nikolaevich Olminsky?
What kind of car do you have? A white Volga?
Yes. And what is exactly the matter?
Galia was killed.
What?
Exactly. Well, I think the puzzle may be called solved. Will you tell everything, or do you need help? We will now search around your place, and we will find a plaid coat.
Kind of a surprise for you, huh? I know everything. While your wife was in a wheelchair, you were having fun with her friend.
What? Did you do it?
Call the ambulance.
Burn in hell. You're welcome to search.
I thought things like that only occur in movies. Now I see why you were talking about the movie. How is that? Revenge and the law?
Well, honestly, it's just a coincidence. I brought it up in a different context.
No doubt about it. Well, the motive is clear, of course. It was an intricate revenge of a deceived wife. What have we got here? Well, here too, everything is confirmed. During the apartment search, detectives found a plaid coat, glasses, and a rabbit fur hat. Galina Akulova, chief technologist of Krasnodar clothing factory, was found murdered in her own apartment. She was strangled with remarkable cruelty. Whoever did it put a bag over her head and tied up her hands behind her back. It was a slow, painful death. Galina's relatives reported that she had an affair with a married man. It turned out that victim's lover was a husband of her best friend Elena. She suffered a serious injury a few years ago, leading to her disability. It appeared, however, that Elena knew about her best friend's betrayal and was masterminding a brutal revenge.
No Nira ever existed. It was you.
Your manicure exposed you. There's no point in being silent.
No, I didn't kill anyone. It was Vitya and Galina who pushed me to this masquerade. Last fall, I noticed an improvement in my conditions. I was able to stand up and take a step. I was preparing a surprise for Vitya. I wanted to open the door and to walk into the room on my own feet to surprise him. But as I got near the door, I heard a conversation. You're sure no one will enter?
We'll hear her at once. I'll send her to the care facility. Get a divorce, and we'll get married. It's a great plan. We just have to wait a bit.
They had such a great plan. Double betrayal.
And you decided to take revenge.
I wanted to catch them red-handed, to look them both in the eye. But to make it work, I had to change. I still kept some clothes of my cousin's. She lives in the village.
Now all this is clear. In this disguise, no one would recognize you. But how did you manage to fool the doctor? Or is he part of this scam?
No, I duped him. I'm a biochemist. I injected some relaxants in my muscle to immobilize the limb for a while and decrease sensitivity with anesthetics.
You know how to surprise. What happened on the evening of the murder?
Vitya said that he was going on a business trip, but of course I understood at once where he was going. A business trip is an excellent cover for lovers. And that evening, when I was talking on the phone with Galia, I heard someone come over to her.
And you decided that this was your husband?
Who else could it be? I changed into Nuria and called a taxi. I had the keys to Galia's apartment. I made a duplicate a long time ago. When I arrived at the apartment, I was very scared. Even my legs went numb for a while.
Okay, I have to apologize. Sorry. Hey, are you out of your mind? Excuse me, please. I'm sorry.
Then there was this old lady with a dog bumping into me from the basement. I grabbed a taxi and left. That's all.
Where's Galina's jewelry?
How would I know? What? You still don't believe me? I told you everything as it was.
I have no reason to believe you.
Why did you take your jewelry to the assembler?
Well, when you asked about Nuria, I realized that she was a suspect and decided to set you on the wrong track, to have you look for someone who doesn't exist.
Have you ever kept your jewelry in a coffee can?
No, they're in a different place.
Take her away.
No, for what? I told you the whole truth. Why are you doing this?
What do you make out of it? With her imagination, she might as well write stories.
But maybe it's not her.
It's her. Don't forget where you work. Call her husband. If he can speak, let's go talk to him. When did you last see Galina?
On Monday. On the day I left for a business trip.
Why are you here? Did something happen?
Oh, I'm just leaving on a business trip today.
For how long?
For a few days, but I'll miss you. By the way, there's a surprise waiting for you at home.
Surprise. You intrigue me.
The day she was killed.
What kind of surprise was it?
Boots. A month ago, Galia was returning from work, and she was attacked by a pack of dogs not far from the entrance. So what? Was she bitten? No. Only her Austrian boots were damaged. The dogs tore them apart. And the janitor poisoned them. Galya paid. And I got the same pair. I wanted to please her. Did she really pay the janitor to feed the dogs with poison?
Yes, you got it right.
These days, Galina and the janitor would be held accountable for this.
Yes, the laws are different now.
Well, what a garbage. Buys new boots for a mistress but sends a wife to the home for invalids.
Bastard. If we had not intervened, she would have killed her husband, too.
But why does she need it, Boris Semenovich? She has a well-established husband. Getting a divorce is by far not to her advantage. A little later, she would have unveiled her miraculous recovery, and that's it. Life goes on.
What do you have?
Well, the tuft of wool with moth matches your suspect's hair hat.
Well, that's it. Now she goes to jail.
There's cat's hair with red mange, too, though. What's this? A hypodermic tick cats have. Well, the victim didn't have any pets. Hold on. What color's the hair? White? Or a cat could have had white spots. And if I get you a cat, can you determine whether it's from it or not? Piece of cake. Just bring it. It seems it's not over, Boris Semenovich.
Well done. Stay here. We'll be there soon.
Stop, Boris Semenovich.
What happened?
Do you remember Elena talking about the basement?
You mean when Alina said a dog barked at her?
Yes. I wonder what the old lady was doing there. Wait, I'll be right back. Boris Semenovich, call the forensic specialist.
What's there?
It's her, the crone. The blood on the stone matches to the blood type of the murdered Galina Akulova. She was hit on the back of the head exactly with this stone.
Yes.
I found prints of the trampled lady's shoes and dog paws. Where's a cat? Wait.
I have a warrant. Let's go.
You will have a cat now.
Nila Alexeyevna, can you recall what you did around 1900 on Monday when your neighbor was killed?
Walked the dog. I told you.
And before that, maybe visited someone?
I didn't visit anyone. I don't visit at all. I was sitting home listening to the radio.
Queerly, some white cat hair was found in Galina's apartment.
So what? Maybe she got herself a cat.
But you know very well there was no cat. What were you doing in the basement behind the house?
I didn't do anything.
You were seen coming out of there.
It was Lord who pulled me, and I followed him.
Boris Ivanovich, 100% match. A plastic bag was tied around the victim's neck, and her hands were tied up with the same rope.
You can find this rope anywhere. It hangs on every balcony.
But yours doesn't. Only this piece remained of your rope.
So what?
Nila Alexeyevna, don't yell. You'll scare the cat.
These jewels belong to the murdered Galina.
Okay. You win. I'll tell you everything. I took a stone, a rope. Nila Alexeyevna? Hello. Hello. May I come in? Oh, sure, come in. This is for you, you bastard.
Сволочь!
Does it hurt? Is it painful?
Больно, да, как
They too were in pain, the poor things. They suffered.
но ничего
But I'll show you now.
покажу. Ты у меня сейчас
You'll scream to death, you bastard.
скотина!
Take this, you piece of scum.
Это за Тобик.
This is for Tobik and for Gerda. For everyone you poisoned for your boots.
Травила, а?
Take it, they suffered.
Они мучают,
And now it is your turn to suffer, you bastard.
сволочь!
Do you think it was unfair? What laws make it unfair? She poisoned animals to death because of lousy boots. They really agonized. They suffered.
I'm not in the mood to argue with you, and it's useless. I admit these animals were dear to you, but to kill a person because of them, it's inhumane. You are detained. Get ready.
You follow us.
My little baby.
Revenge and the Law. Now I see why you brought up this film. I have chills from this story.
Yes, revenge often comes under the banner of justice.
Except that everyone has their own justice, and the law is the same for everyone. I don't see what kind of punishment Nila Alexeyevna Pirogova received.
She was determined mentally ill and spent the last years of her life in a psychiatric shelter.
Really? And what about the Olminskys, Elena and Victor?
They didn't get divorced, no. However, reconciliation did not happen immediately. Victor repented. Elena forgave him.
Well, I hope Niura never returned to their lives again.
Yes.